Fears are growing in the Middle East that a new tipping point has been reached after days of the most intense cross-border fire between Israel and Hezbollah since October the 7th. The militant group fired 3 waves of rockets into Israel, causing some destruction and injuries, but no deaths. Israel has responded with an aerial assault of its own, reportedly killing 2 people. CBC's Sasha Petrusik has more on this fiery exchange from Jerusalem.
Throughout the day, there have been more rockets and even a few missiles coming from the north. We had about 100 or more this morning, another 85 during the day. So we're reaching, record levels of rocket barrages coming from the north in a conflict which has been going on really for almost a year now up here, but it's reached very, very high levels of confrontation just in the past week or so, first with the rhetoric and now with the actual fighting. 5 people have been injured in Israel so far. Not as many as you might expect, given the aggressiveness of the rockets coming in, but Israel's Iron Dome defense system has managed to catch most of those rockets and indeed those cruise missiles and drones that it's believed were coming in from Iraqi militias as well. So far, the damage on the ground here has not been as high as it could have been, but there has been damage. Residential areas have been hit. Cars have exploded. Many people have had to respond to the air raid sirens and go to underground bunkers. Schools are closed. Hospitals have had to move many of their operations into so-called hardened areas of the hospital, basically bomb-proof areas. So it has had an impact on life here today very much, and that's changing very, very quickly. Now, Hezbollah says that its rockets really are an initial reaction, an initial retribution for those attacks of through pagers and walkie-talkies last week, which they blame Israel for, and say that that they were directed towards too many people, some 5,000, and among those, too many civilians were injured or killed in those attacks. And that may be why we are seeing these attacks today being pointed more at civilian targets than they have been in the past. That was one of the threats that Hassan Nasrallah, the head of Hezbollah, made last week, and it may be that he's acting on those threats. Now, as far as the Israeli government is concerned, Prime Minister Netanyahu has said that that Israel cannot put up with the fact that some 60 to 100,000 people cannot live in the north because it is too dangerous, and that Israel is going to do whatever it takes to get those people back and to make the north safe. Now, among all of this very aggressive talk and increasingly aggressive military options that are being talked about on both sides, the Americans are stepping in and saying there is still time for diplomacy to prevent a much broader war. This is what one of the White House's security advisors had to say this morning.
There are better ways to try to get those Israeli citizens back in their homes up in the north and to keep those that are there safely than a war, than an escalation, than opening up a second front there at that border with Lebanon against Hezbollah. We still believe that there can be time and space for a diplomatic solution here, and that's what we're working on.
So this is the effort, but so far American efforts at diplomacy in the south, in Gaza, and in the north have not amounted to very much. Israel seems determined here. Certainly that's what the talk is about. That's what's in the headlines. That's what the leadership is talking about, of more war, more military action, and more aggressive military action against Hezbollah.
That's CBC's Sasha Petrusik reporting from Jerusalem. Israeli troops have raided the West Bank offices of the satellite network Al Jazeera, ordering it to shut down while it was live on the air. The broadcasting ban lasts at least 45 days. And remember that earlier this year, Israeli police stormed Al Jazeera's East Jerusalem offices, taking it off the air and blocking its websites across Israel.